Hey guys! So, this house is going to be another version or another creation of my haunted house. Um, and I did one last year, and it turned out really cool and was really fun. And I have House 2.0 this year. I did not have a plan when starting this house. I probably should have had a plan, but I like how it turned out regardless. Side note, this house I did not decorate to be, I guess it technically is livable because it does have all the basic things your sim would need, but it's not livable. It looks like a house that's been, left for years. There's furniture left behind that's been covered, that kind of feeling. And when we get to the landscaping, you'll see that it's been neglected for a long time. But yeah, it's a really fun house, and I can't wait for you to see it. You should also check out my other one, because that one I did design on the inside to be livable. Like, I did put a lot of work into decorating and making it look like someone lived there. It's just the outside didn't look it. But this house, I was like, no. You could also claim that I was being lazy and didn't want to decorate, but I think it took about the same amount of thought to do both of them. Because I did still decorate it, like, it's not undecorated. But this house, I wanted to play around with some different, shapes and textures and things like that. So we have the lovely, what would you call it, like a bay area, that rounded corner. We have that area with the windows that are actually really cool. I think they're pretty. I like them. I actually really just like that corner, inside and outside. It's fun, at least I think. And then there's the fireplace, like the chimney, if you will. It's a little big and it doesn't work or anything like that, but it never does. But yeah, the outside's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just very dark and dreary and, homey. Windows were kind of difficult to figure out because, there's not much you could do, especially with that roof where it is. But in the end, it works out fine. There's a lot of windows. I end up putting in a lot of windows. I think, again, my most favorite part of the whole house is the landscaping, which I liked about my other haunted house too, so there's a theme here. And how hard is it to ask for brick that match? Because the stairs and the brick tile do not match at all. You can't find a single match, be it dark colors. Actually, no. I think there's the one, and it's that super dark, gray, almost black, and then it has the same color kind of grout, if you will. I think that's the only one that has a match. That's perfect match for tile and stair. And I think that whole stair type, the colors for it, they also match the tile. But that's the only one. Could not find it. And then none of them matched the fireplaces that I put in. So I just had to make sure the colors were similar enough that it worked. But it was rough because if it has to match at least, if not perfectly, close enough to perfect, or else my eyes go bananas and they're just I don't want to stare at this anymore. And so that's what I have in mind when I'm making these things, because I'm if I can't look at it while I'm building it, who's gonna want to look at it while they're playing, So that was a snag. But in the end, it works out pretty good. I really wish we could have fireplaces that just go into the wall rather than, having them be an actual thing. And I understand, like, like the closets, like, have it be, you have to have the room, but it's into the wall. It's not, a piece sticking outside of it. Or, there could be some that stick out of it, but I want it to be more seamless with the wall. You know what I mean? And that's what I was kind of trying to go for, but it just didn't quite work out. The fireplace changes a lot. I was originally going to furnish it, make it be livable, but then I was like, let's try something different. Let's be creative here. And so then I had the idea to make it be an abandoned home. Here's my struggle. But an abandoned home with, just some leftover furniture that wasn't wanted, and the house just stayed empty for so long, and they're covered, and, it's dusty, there's spider webs. Had a lot of fun with the spider webs. They were great. Wonderful decoration. But yes, here is my trying to get the brick to match, and then I just kind of gave up and said, this is fine, and was done with it. The kitchen's very simple. There's not a lot going on. And like I said, it's a rundown, empty home, so the furniture and the appliances are not the best. So the home is fairly cheap. But yeah, there's not a lot going on. Like, it's not a great house. You would renovate it for sure. There's a lot of structural damage that's coming. So you'd need to do some work to it, but it's fun. It's fun to look at. It's fun. It was fun to make. And like making it not perfect, if that makes sense. Like having it and just being like, we're gonna make it as messy and as, unthought out as possible, because, when you're moving and stuff, like, you leave things behind, or like in this instance you would, and they're just there, like nobody's doing anything with them, so they're just there getting old and decrepit and, wearing down and being destroyed by time. So yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. And then I was trying to decide what to do, and I ended up with that. And I really wanted, excuse me. I really wanted a, what are they called? A china cabinet in there. Because, it's a dining room. You need a china cabinet. And it was left behind because the people didn't want dishes. I also really do like the entryway, or the foyer. I do like that too. It's very simple, and there's not a lot going on, but I just like it. I like the door, I like the chandelier. It's just fun. And then, like, here's my covered furniture. The Halloween pack really came through on that one. I really wanted to do something. Do I end up doing something with that cabinet? I can't. Yes, I do. Okay, I do do something with it. But I really liked it because it's so cool. It has the skull. At least I think it's a skull. But anyways, it has the skull. It has some books. All sorts of fun stuff. Here, I was trying to get rid of the shadow because it's not, like, the rooms are messed up because of something I did when I was originally making it. And I wanted to get rid of that, but I couldn't, as you can see. I don't think in actual gameplay it makes a difference, so it doesn't really matter. they left behind their chess table. Like, it's unbelievable. They don't want to know. They don't want to play chess anymore. And then I was just, making it look more worn down, which I had a lot of fun with these. Like, I don't think anybody really does use the wall markings, like the tearing and the chipping and holes, and it's just, they're really fun. They're cool to use, and they do work, and they look cool. So it was fun to use those and figure out, like, where would this be, and like what would it, like how am I gonna put it here to make it look like it's wearing down. It was just fun. The first cobweb, he gets a spider. We'll see him in the end. He makes an appearance. And then I also used I think they came with the city pack, I believe. The wallpapers that are kind of dingy. I can't talk today for some reason. Excuse me. But they're dingy, they're not the nicest, they're not the brightest. And they worked really well. And then I also had a lot of fun with the cracks in the walls. The house has a lot of structural damage. I don't know if you'd want to go walking around in it. I just noticed, I think that roof is hanging off. I don't know if I fixed that. We'll find out in the end. Oh yes, and that's going to be a little bathroom, in case you're wondering. You'll find that out later. And these people also left behind their desk and a bookcase full of books. It's just terrible. Like, what happened here that you left your stuff behind like this? Unbelievable. I don't keep that bookshelf because it was too big. It stuck out too much. But just a simple little office space in the, I guess you would call that like a loft area, maybe. Some paintings, they left those behind too. And then a little seating area by the fireplace. I think there's only, you could consider 2 bedrooms, and there's no master, if you will. So you could imagine that this is a older home before master bedrooms were a thing, with master baths. And I kept all the bathrooms just very simple and, not too intense decorative wise. There's no shower. There's just that tub. Because it's an old home. And then my thought process with that rug, and there's going to be another one in the living room, not the living room, the entrance, is that, it's been sitting there for a while, so it's got dust on it. It's dusty, it's musty, so it's that weird blue, black, purple color. Now we're getting to the fun part, which is the outside. Best part. A lot of great elements. Oh, I love it so much. I love the outside, like, so much. Oh yes, I do fix the roof. Okay, good. Good job, me. And I think I add some more windows. Now I'm not sure, but I do add more windows. And I also wanted to put, yep, there they are. I wanted to put some of the, like, wall decorations on the outside, but they don't, like, they're too light and you can't change the color of them, so they didn't really show up. So just some of the cracks and some spider webs that got put out on the front of it, or the outside. Had to make the grass look, like it's not been cared for. And I think it turned out really cool. I layered 2 ground paints on top of each other. And I think I think it changed it and made it a little bit more believable, because like the one is still a little too bright, so I layered it with a little bit, like, almost opaque, no, transparent, brown dirt. And I think that that really helped just change the feel of it. I do that again with the little like gravel path or driveway that I put in. That also is a pathway. I add more to it in the end. But I do that on top of that too with some of that brown because it just made it look a little bit more like old, if you will. Just a little bit more, forgotten about and just decrepit, if you will. And I decided to put a little shed out there just because, it's like a little garage type thing. It's not a garage, it's a shed. What are words? They're interchangeable. I think I'm done with the building. Probably. I think I changed the tile to a different wood and then I should be done. If I haven't added the lights to the front and back doors. Oh, yep, here we are. The best part, the landscaping. So I went ham with the grass and it's amazing. I really like it, okay? I really like the landscaping. I love landscaping and I love how to make it look like real, It's just fun. It's great. Here we have the little, I made a little, can't talk. I made a little rounded area that's going to have a fireplace in it, or a fire pit. Just, so it's a little bit, it's another little section of the backyard you can use. And I didn't use the whole backyard, so you don't need the lot to be as big as it is. Like you could just cut it off at the grass. At the fence. What is this lot? I don't remember. Probably a 30 by 20 or 20 by 30, whatever that distinction is. But again, going ham with the grass, it's a great time. I wanted to keep it very wild, if you will. I loved that tree and I really wanted to use it, but it is too big. Like, what the heck? Why is that tree so big? And it's just, these trees were super cool and I was super glad to find them. I had a lot of fun with those. And then just some more grass. I use a lot of grass. Thankfully, grass isn't like rocks and it makes your game lose its mind if there's too much. I did put some rocks though. I did put rocks and I think it just adds to the dilapidated feel because there's just random rocks everywhere where like where'd that rock come from? No one knows. And the thorns, those trees and the grass were the main design elements that really added to the feeling of the lot. And I really wanted to use something like to make it look like a forest in the back, but all of the trees were just so darn big, and I realize now I could have made them smaller, but, I'm happy with how it turned out. The other trees in the back, they're just, they're dead. So you could pretend it's like winter, or they're just dead because they were sick or something. I don't know. I'm putting a lot of thought into it, probably too much. But I'm almost done with the landscaping, and then I add a few ornamental items, and I think they just really add a lot to it. Oh, I was gonna put a car just like my other one. Oh, I didn't. No, I was gonna put a car on the driveway. If you look at my other one, you'll understand what I mean. But I didn't. Probably because I loved the statues so much. Oh, this is really cool. I think it's really cool. It looks like she's like, welcome, come to my fountain. I don't know. Maybe I'm just ridiculous, but I think it's really I was just like, "Oh my god, I am a genius. I'm so amazing. EA, email me." Cuz I'm just so good at decorating. Oh, it felt I was just that was I think that's my favorite part. The fountain with the lady. I mean, it's so good. Did I leave that? Oh no, I didn't put the pumpkin there. I was gonna put a pumpkin because it's Halloween, whatever. There's a little fairy hidden on the other side, and there's also a gnome. I don't know if you caught that, but there's a hidden gnome over by the fairy. It's a little surprise. Oh, we're in the things. Okay, so enjoy the tour of my haunted house, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!